Alright guys, I'm sorry it's going to be a little shaky, but because I'm walking around. But anyway, I got this is what I got to help me load logs up. I'd say my new toy, but it ain't really a toy. It's I'm hoping it helps my progress of everything. But these are some of the logs I've got out of this bunch, and that's why I ain't made a lot of videos, just because I've been working on this, getting these logs out of here and getting the brush and tops pushed up. It was in the deal that I didn't have to clean them up, but I'm not hauling them off, but I at least want to push them up in somewhat of a pile where they can burn them or doze them on off or whatever. So I got quite a few logs. I think my wife counted like 40 maybe. I ain't counting them yet. Heck, I ain't even paid attention. I've been too busy trying to get them all out loaded. It's starting to rain right now, and that's what I've been trying to beat. That's why I ain't done a lot of videoing, is because it's just been too much rain, and I ain't had a lot going on in the shop, and I ain't run a lot of saws. I didn't even bring but one saw out here, just in case I had some tied together, because I knew I was going to be doing mostly pushing, and that's mostly what I done. So anyhow, that's the brush piles I got pushed up. I still got one log back here to get, and I still have still got a white, or some kind of oak. I think it's a white oak. It may not be a white oak. They'll consider a white oak, but yeah, it's a white oak right there. Still got a white oak to get, and still got that big white oak down there to get, and the second log up there on the hill. Them's the ones that I had my 3-foot bar in, but I've got everything else cleaned up pretty good. I've still got three or four more trees to cut too. So, but I want to get my logs out of the way, get all this brush pushed up, because now that I've got a piece of machinery, tractor slash loader slash skidder slash whatever I need it to be, has skid steer. That's why I got a tractor, so I can do multiple things. And when I sell logs from these, maybe I want to try to get me a grapple to go on it, where I can actually hook, grapple brush or little logs. These are some pretty big. The tractor will pick them up. It's just that it's got fluid in one of the back tires, but it don't have it in all of them. So anyhow, I want to get the front tires foam filled. That's how we do our lifts at work, and or that's how they do the lifts at work. Not me necessarily, but this is a Coyote 5010, DK 5010. It's got like 500 hours on it. Picked it up, bought it with the forks, the bucket, and the 6-foot bush hog, but I don't really need the bush hog. I just got it on right there. Right now, for counterweight, I've got a ballast box ordered for counterweight, and then I'm gonna make like a carry-all on the back of it, and get some kind of scabbard to throw a saw in. That way I ain't got to run back somewhere and get a saw every time I need to trim something up. Which now that, like I say, now that I've got some equipment, I'm gonna do it a little different. But I'm gonna take it sometimes, make an appointment to the dealer when I get these logs sold, and get the third function where I can grapple. And he said it'd be about $3,000 to do the third function, where it's up on the lever there, and then the grapple bucket too. So I don't know. The tractor ain't bad. I had to add a little hydraulic transmission fluid, whatever you want to call it, to it. And I don't know if it's leaking some, seeping some, or what, which it's been run, but I don't know. There's some, just like anything with hydraulics or a motor, it seeps a little something, diesel fuel overflow or something, but it's a little wet right around in there. I don't know what that's from, but as long as it don't get terribly bad, I don't care to add a little bit of hydraulic fluid. And I've got it parked downhill some. But yeah, it's been doing fairly good. Like I say, I need a little more weight. I want to get this other tire, the ballast put in it or whatever, and then get these front ones foam filled. That way if I hit stops or whatever, it don't do good. I got the trailer here. Just kind of been leaving everything here locked up, and you know, because I don't want to haul it back and forth. But it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so, and I've got to go back to work. But I'm hoping to start loading some of these out here before long. All right, so I guess we'll call this the interrogation sessions. Since I just have one light on me, I'm not gonna be down here long. I'm not gonna turn all the lights on. Been very busy this week on my time off. Excuse me. I have not made a lot of content this week, and I apologize for that. I've not had a lot. I've had a lot going on, but I just didn't capture a lot of it. I wished I had it, but I didn't. And if you make videos or have a YouTube channel, I'm sure you understand that. But what I done Monday, I had to go to furthering education, chainsaw safety on my for my logging deal, which I didn't know it, but I could have waited till the closer to my expiration time part on my card. But now I should be good for like 6 years or something now, because it's out in 25 or 26 maybe, and then I can call, get it renewed, and then we'll have to go again if you know. So that's pretty good. Another thing is, see, that was Tuesday. Wednesday, I didn't do a whole lot of nothing. Thursday, or maybe I did Wednesday. No, Wednesday I did do a whole lot of something. Wednesday I actually went and bought a tractor, and that's what you've seen at the beginning of this video. It's a Coyote DK5010. I don't know a lot about the Coyote brand. I don't know a lot about any of the what I'm gonna say off-brand. You know, when I was younger, had family that had, you know, my step grandparents, they had cattle. My uncle, he had cattle. I used to work with him some milk cows and whatnot, and all they ever owned was like New Holland, Ford, Massey Ferguson, Kubota, you know, never really, not much John Deere. But anyhow, you know, so the tractors I've been looking at are more of the compact style, like the Branson, the TYMs, the Coyotes, Mahindras, just, you know, in that line or whatever. I know Kubota and John Deere, they all make compact stuff too, but, you know, I had a budget, so I was trying to stay in that budget. Which that tractor, it's a 2015. It had 500 hours on it. It came with a bush hog. He threw in the pallet fork. Of course, you know, it's four-wheel drive, got the front end loader, and that's what I wanted to help me in the logging deal and tree work deal. I'm gonna get the third function for it, and when I get some money built back up and whatnot, and you know, if I can quit coughing and all that kind of crap. But yeah, so it seemed to be a pretty good tractor. I've had to add a little transmission hydraulic fluid to it. To my understanding, it all runs off that. So not much, but I don't know if I had enough. You know, I needed. Well, it was shown on the dipstick, but I need to look into how you operate it, because I'm not real familiar with these newer tractors. So I didn't really need the bush hog, but it came with it, so I figured why not? You know, I might make a little money somewhere bush hogging something if I need to. But he ended up dropping. He came off like he threw the forks in. He wasn't going to throw the forks in. That wasn't in the deal at first, but he threw the forks in and came off like $2,000, $2,500. So okay, that's that to me was a pretty good deal. And I didn't give nowhere near several thousand dollars less, several thousand dollars less than what a new one would have cost. Of course, new one you come with a warranty, but like I say, I had a budget, and for not much more, I could have probably bought a new one. Which I say not much more, north of 10,000. You could have get a new one. It comes with a warranty. I don't know about Coyote, but like the Branson tractor has a 6-year powertrain warranty and a 2-year bumper to bumper. So well, that's what the Branson was new. I don't know what a Coyote is new. Probably about 28. I talked to the dealer. I have a dealer local. See, I bought that. I didn't know if I had a dealer or not. So anyway, so I'm hoping the tractor does good. That one's got 500 hours, and that's what I done Wednesday. So Thursday, I didn't do a whole lot of nothing because it rained Wednesday night all night long, and I was wanting to get it and unload logs, and I didn't. I just kind of looked over the checked the fluid, checked everything like that, yada yada yada. So that's and piddled around. So really nothing Thursday. Friday, little man had to go to get tubes put in his ears, and so I was over there Friday morning. When I got done Friday morning, I went and messed with logs. Yesterday, I didn't do nothing. Modding up a muffler for another saw, so that's nothing really new. It's just another mod like I've done on the 562s, because what I'm going to do, I got another 562 muffler and I gutted it and redoing it kind of like that Jim guy does, taking that, getting it off the crankcase. I'm going to put it on the non-ported 562. And I might try to run it on the one that Aaron ported for me. I don't know yet, just to see how it does. Anyhow, but that's about all I done. And then today I done all the work you've seen. So I didn't capture a lot of it, and I know I haven't made any videos hardly, and I apologize for that because I ain't cutting, but I wanted to get that cleaned up. My whole thought process before why it's such a mess, and it took me a while to get all that the way that I've got it, all the logs drug out, staked out, or just forked out, or whatever, because I really didn't know that I was going to buy a tractor. I'll just say the good Lord bless me and my wife. She had a really big job come up and made some extra money, and she, I call it her money because I don't like using, taking money that she made and bought stuff, but we decided to buy it because she can use it for her pumpkins and around here as well. Because she sells pumpkins in the fall, so when you unload pumpkins with it and whatnot off the trailer, and so I'm gonna have to pay her back. It sounds bad, don't it? But she's not worried about it. But I just don't want to take her extra money that she worked for and spend it on herself. So I know that sounds odd to some people, but that's just the way I am. I don't want to let my stuff interfere, just like my chainsaw hobby. I don't let it interfere with my other stuff. I try to keep everything separate so it keeps me balanced, because if not, you can tie up a lot of money into something. But I believe this deal here will help me make a lot of money, a lot more money, a lot quicker. I do bigger jobs now, and I don't have to do it like I did this one, and that's what I'm getting at. Like, the reason why it's so messy is typically before I had that tractor, I would have to follow everything the best that I could, log it up, get it ready, rent equipment on the weekend because I work during the week, rent equipment on like Friday afternoon, or maybe take one day off, get it on Friday, and then keep it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and try to do all the cleaning up. And if it rains, you're screwed. If you have a breakdown, you're screwed. And the last 3 times that I rented something from a rental place, I had trouble. I had a flat tire, 2 flat tires, hydraulic leaks 2 times, and one time I had 2 flat tires and a hydraulic leak all in the same time. That's why I didn't get down there at the other place. And so I know that I'm eventually gonna have to probably work on that tractor. Something little, maybe something big. I hope not nothing big, but you know when you're on equipment, that's just part of it. But I will say, the tractor does really, really well. All that I've done, you know, I had all them trees fell and I pushed tops and I moved logs, and they're some pretty big logs. Now, it won't lift. I don't know that it won't lift it. Those biggest logs where I had the big 3-foot white oak, it picks the back end of the tractor up with the bush hog. So it would lift it, I don't know. So I'm gonna have to, you know, get some skid poles or just lift up one end, back the trailer in under it when I get it up there. So, but the average size log that you mess with, it handles no problem. But these trees are abnormally large from compared to what you'd find out in the woods, because you know they're in a yard. Most woods been logged around here and everywhere, so you know you're on average 20 inches to 30 inches at the biggest, maybe, you know, and some of these are, just about every one of these are 30 inches or better, and or 2 foot or better, and it handles them just fine. So I'm pretty sure it'll be more than enough for what I need to do. And if I'm not getting logs out of it, I'll cut it in shorter chunks where I can handle it better. But I had to follow, I had to follow everything, and then it gets in a big mess, and it takes me twice as long because I've had to do it the funk way. Now this way I can cut something, cut one tree, get it cleaned up, get the logs moved up, get the logs snanked out of the way, push the tops up if I have to, or get rid of the tops if it's tree work, and do it a tree at a time, or do it a couple trees at a time, instead of everything being wadded up in one big mess and having to fight and do all that. So it's going to save me time, and it's going to save me a lot of back breaking work by hand, you know, because before, if I had to clean all that up, you know, which I'd be getting paid quite a bit of money, but I'd have to do it all by hand. I'd just done it a tree at a time, clean tops up, and then ran something to get the logs, or maybe, you know, or whatever. I don't know for sure how I would have done it, but it's just, that's why I don't do any really, really big jobs. Like I just do a tree or two here if I gotta clean up. You know, if I've got to do the cleanup now, falling and just letting it lay, I'll do multiple trees. But like if somebody calls me and say, hey, I got a tree that I want cut, and I'm gonna, I want it all cleaned up. At most, I'll just do 1 or 2 at a time, because I'll do more than that, because that's all I have time for, especially by hand. It takes me so long to do that, not doing it full time and everything. So with this, I'm hoping that it makes me to where I can, if somebody calls me, hey, I got 4 trees I need down, I can go over and cut them down, get the tops knocked down, loaded up, took off, and or whatever. If the logs are good, sell the logs. If they're not, just take the whole tree off. So it's really gonna help. Of course, anybody knows that. Now, if you was doing down only, just falling down, cutting it up or whatever, and maybe getting firewood out of it every once in a while, it wouldn't be no problem. You need really no equipment. But around here, typically, if somebody calls you, they want you to just, if they know how to run a chainsaw around here, they're pretty much going to try to follow it themselves, unless you got to climb it or get a lift or something. Or they want you to clean it all up. They don't want to just down only and then the mess left. There's a few people that do, that'll do it like that and try to save some money, but very few. So that's what I've been doing. That's what I've got. I hope it's a good tractor. If you know anybody that's got one of them, or you know anything about them, get any tips about them, then holler at me, and or leave it in the comments or whatever. So that's what I've been up to. Not a whole lot going on with saw work. I will tell you that Aaron's 562 looks like or looks like. It runs amazing, and Cajun's 572 reported for me. It looks like it runs amazing. Just talked to him. He's shipping it out tomorrow, I think, so that'll be awesome. And Aaron's 562. I mean, that thing is sweet. I don't know much about porting, but I know I like their style of porting, whatever it is. Think what you want. I like the short blowdown saws myself. I ran them in both fashions, and I like the short blowdown. It just is what it is. Great running saw. So, yeah, I'm sorry, that's all I've got for you. I just wanted to touch base with you, and yeah, this video number is 300.